simple episode for the finish line. Um, I felt like going into this there was going to be much more. I thought there was going to be some sort of shootout, maybe in a little bit of an allusion to like a new, not war, but a new conflict between two factions, kind of a smaller thing. And what we got was sort of just a bit of a survival episode. It was a little bit soured for me because nothing has changed. Everybody lived. Everybody's still on the same side they were on. They didn't get Crosshair back. The episode itself was good, but as a finale, I think it was a little lackluster.
I agree 100% with literally everything you said. I think it was a good episode, and I think that there were points where I thought somebody might not make it. So I was definitely
it was exciting. It was really exciting. They did a good job at it being exciting, but like as far as fitting into the grander scheme of things, there were no game changers, there were no surprises, there were no fights, there was just no conflict really. I don't know.
Yeah, I was gonna say there were points where I thought maybe, so it kept me on the edge of my seat. And then when it seemed like that's all, folks, I was like, all right, okay, kind of an underwhelming, anticlimactic season finale. I think some of the expectations I had might have been a bit grand as far as a big team up, big final shootout battle, but yeah, it was a little underwhelming to say the least. And I agree, they didn't do anything to really change anything. There was really no development anywhere. I mean, Omega developed throughout the show. We saw her grow into her own a bit, and that's kind of it. There was really no allusion to season 2 outside of that whole Nala Se being taken to the Empire, but it sort of leaves you to believe that Crosshair is going to end up back with the Empire and have to chase them down again. So very underwhelming, and it doesn't make me at all excited for season 2.
I'll be so bummed if season 2 opens up and the batch is still doing missions for Sid. We need to move away from that so bad. Like, I get that it has functions, how they're making money, it's how they're eating and everything, but it doesn't lend itself to good TV.
It really doesn't. And I mean, if they're going to do something with that story, if it's going to lead somewhere, fine, that's okay. But yeah, if it's just going to be episodes where they have to go to some random planet and save some prime minister from the Empire, and that's the episode, folks. See, I can't say that I'm going to want to do this again next year. Just to be completely honest with you, my wish list for the Bad Batch season 2 is less episodes and make each episode connect to the next. Now, that's not to say that, if there's 10 episodes, that episode 4 has to be fantastic. Just have it mean something in the bigger context of the story.
Right.
If you look at any show, right, let's take Stranger Things, for example, there's 8 episodes a season. Not every episode's better than the last. There's good episodes, there's okay episodes, but those okay episodes still end at a point where you want to watch the next episode. They make you excited to keep going. They weave in together. It's not just like, here's a side mission. It all works together. And I think that, sure, I could have managed my expectations a bit better going into this, but we've talked about this many times. We went into the show having come off of season 7 of Clone Wars, where it was 10 episodes, and there were 2 big stories being told that took 5 episodes each. And it was done on such a grand scale, even for an animated show, that you felt like you were watching this big thing. And so expecting that to get something that was just not that, I am very let down with this show. I will say,
yeah. I'm not excited. And the way that it's releasing week to week, I mean, week to week TV watching really thrives on cliffhangers and stuff like that. And this show just didn't do that enough. They did it like twice. I think they might have done it twice, and it was just
more than twice, about 4 or 5.
Was
times.
it okay?
Out of 16 episodes, that's not good enough.
Right. We need one overarching. We needed more focus. We needed more direction. They brought up a bunch of characters, and that was like the best part of the show. But I don't even think they needed to have those characters if they just could have had a more exciting overarching plot line.
I agree. Right, bringing in Cad Bane was a lot of fun, and that made for a great moment.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe you did need Cad Bane as part of a larger thing, but you probably didn't. You probably could have got away with just having this be something where Crosshair just keeps on missing out on the batch, or maybe he gets his hands on
Yeah.
Omega and they've got to go and get her, or maybe he captures Tech, and they got to go save Tech, or something like that. There was never a point where you felt like they were in true peril up until the very end. And if there
Mm-hmm.
was a point where they got to true peril, like the episode where Omega was captured, it was resolved the next episode. Instead of letting
Mm-hmm.
it breathe and giving it time and really seeing more emotion from the characters, it was just like, well, we got her back, and then let's go do some more side missions. What?
Yeah. My hope for season two, because we do know at this point that there is going to be a season two. My biggest hope is that they learn, what worked and what didn't work with this show, and season two can come back a lot better than season one.
I agree. There are some things that worked. I think we
Mm-hmm.
talked about it. Some of those surprise characters was fun.
Mm-hmm.
Seeing Omega's growth was fun. There were points where, yeah, when you finally got to a Crosshair episode, it was enjoyable. I think that they did a good job early on with the whole Wreckers chip. They let that breathe a bit, right? There were a few
That was a
moments.
good one. Yeah, that was a
Yeah,
really good one.
they let that breathe a bit, and so more of that, right? More of that, less of just doing a mission for Sid coming back and here's Roland Durand and the Pike Syndicate, and
Yeah.
less of that, more sticking with the core parts of the show.